You ever notice how some days feel cursed before they even begin? Like the air is heavier, the sky's a little too flat, and every sound has that stretched, echoing quality, like the world is holding its breath. That was my Thursday. I clocked in around 7 da noite, already exhausted even though my shift hadn't technically started. The sheriff handed me the clipboard without meeting my eyes. He didn't have to. I already knew why. Nobody wants the Thursday night shift. Not in Echo Valley. Not near the lake. Not after what happened to the McAllister kid, or Mrs. Donner. Or the jogger who was found pointing at the water with a broken wrist, whispering, "Don't blink," over and over like a prayer. The sheriff cleared his throat. "You good for tonight?" I forced a smile. Define good. He didn't laugh, just nodded once. "Tight. Stay away from the North Shoreline. And if you hear someone using your voice, again, I know." I cut in. "Don't answer." He hesitated. "Even if it sounds like someone needs help, even if it sounds like your mother, your best friend, or myself," I finished. We stared at each other for a long second, the kind of second that has weight. Then I grabbed the keys, holstered my sidearm, and stepped into the cooling evening air. The first hour of patrol was quiet. Too quiet. Echo Valley's never loud. But that night, the silence had layers, like something pressing down on every sound. Even the crickets were off-key. The wind didn't move. The trees, my headlights, made these long, stretched shadows along Ridge Road that seemed to lag half a beat behind the cruiser. By 8:30, dispatch crackled to life. "Reports of a silhouette moving near the old ranger station," the operator said. "Caller thinks it might be a trespasser or someone injured." Normally, that would have been nothing. Teens sneaking in, some drunk idiot looking for a dare, maybe a homeless guy trying to find shelter. But the old ranger station sits barely 200 feet from the lake, too close for comfort, too close for mistakes. I radioed back, on my way. The road to the station is narrow and crooked, the kind of road where your headlights catch trees that weren't there a second ago. I parked by the gate, stepped out, and immediately felt the wrongness. Like the air around the building was heavier than everywhere else. Like I had walked into a room where someone had just been talking about me. I swept my flashlight across the station windows. Nothing inside, no movement, no broken glass, just peeling paint and silence. Then I saw the door. It was open 3 inches, swinging slowly, like someone had gone in, or something had come out. You ever try talking yourself out of your own fear? I whispered, gripping my flashlight tighter. "Yeah, doesn't work." I pushed the door wider. The smell hit me first. Damp wood. Old paper, something metallic underneath, like a penny left in the rain. "Echo Valley Sheriff's Office," I called. "If someone's in here, answer me." My voice bounced around the empty room too many times, like the walls didn't want to let it go. Then something answered, but not with words. A dragging sound, slow, heavy. Coming from the back room, I moved forward, swallowing hard. My boots made soft thuds on the warped floorboards. I kept telling myself it was an animal, raccoon, possum, injured deer. Anything except what I knew it really was. The dragging stopped. The air shifted. I stepped into the doorway, flashlight raised, and froze. On the far wall, something was written in dripping black strokes, tall letters, uneven, smeared at the ends. "Not you." My mouth went dry. Then the dragging sound started again behind me this time. I spun around, flashlight beam jerking across the room, and landed on a figure standing in the doorway I'd just come through. Same height as me, same uniform, same posture, except the eyes. The eyes were wrong, too wide, too reflective, like water catching moonlight that wasn't there. "Hey," it said, my voice, my exact voice. "You're late." My heart punched upward. "Stay where you are." It stared at me, head tilted just barely, like it was studying my reaction, like it was learning. "You shouldn't be here," it whispered. I forced myself to breathe. "You need to back away from that door. You didn't tell the sheriff about last night," it continued, ignoring the command. "Why not?" Every muscle in my body went stiff. It smiled slightly. "Because you're curious." I stepped back without meaning to. "Don't come closer." Its expression softened, almost apologetic. "You don't have to be afraid of me," it said. "I'm the one who's afraid." The sentence hit harder than any threat could have. "What are you afraid of?" I asked, before my brain could stop my mouth. It blinked slowly, like it was trying out the movement of becoming you. My stomach dropped. Then, it stepped forward. Just one step, but it was enough. I drew my gun, not to shoot, just to have something between us. Its smile faded. "You wouldn't shoot me." "I would," I said. "I absolutely would." It tilted its head again, studying me with unsettling patience. Then it asked, "Are you sure I'm the one on this side of the room?" My finger tightened on the trigger. "Look behind you," it whispered. I didn't. I forced myself not to, even though every instinct screamed, "Turn around, turn around, turn around." "You're learning," it said quietly. "That's good." I blinked, and it was gone. Not stepped out, not slipped away. Gone. The room felt bigger without it. Colder, emptier, in a way empty rooms shouldn't feel. I backed out of the station, keeping my gun raised until I reached the cruiser. My hands were trembling so hard, I dropped the keys twice before I got the door open. As I pulled onto the road, the radio crackled again. Not dispatch, my voice. "Why'd you leave me?" it said. I thought we were finally starting to understand each other. I nearly swerved into a ditch. "Get off this frequency," I snapped. Now, soft laughter answered. "You can run from the station," it said. "You can run from the lake, but you can't run from the parts of yourself you leave behind." Then the radio died completely. I should have gone back to the station. Should have reported the sighting. Should have told the sheriff that the thing was getting bolder, stronger, more human. But I didn't. Instead, I drove toward town, needing lights, noise, people, anything that didn't smell like wet wood and old fear. I stopped at the gas station near the diner, grabbed a bottle of water, tried to ground myself in something normal. The cashier looked at me funny. "You're working late tonight," she said. I forced a smile. "Thursday shift." She scanned the bottle, not taking her eyes off me. "You were just here," she said. A chill crawled up my spine. "No, I wasn't." "Yeah," she insisted, frowning. "You came in like 10 minutes ago. Didn't buy anything. Just stared out the window for a while." "What was I wearing?" I asked. Too quickly, she hesitated. "Your uniform, same as now, but your boots. They were soaked, like you'd been standing in the lake." My chest tightened. "Did I say anything?" She nodded slowly. "You said it's almost time." I swallowed hard. "Almost time for what?" She shook her head. "I don't know. But you said it like you were talking to someone standing right beside you." My grip tightened around the bottle until it creaked. "Was anyone with me?" I asked. She looked at the empty space next to me, then back at my face. "I didn't see anyone," she said carefully, "but it's weird. I swear, I heard 2 sets of footsteps. I didn't pay for the water, didn't grab the receipt. I just walked out and sat in my cruiser with the engine running and both hands shaking on the wheel." I wasn't scared of the thing anymore. I was scared of the possibility that people couldn't tell the difference between us, and maybe I couldn't either. But the real turning point, the moment everything crossed a line, I can't uncrus penegi, around Desimea the Noit. When dispatch called again, "Deputy," the operator said, voice strained. "We have a situation at Lakeview Apartments. Caller reported someone knocking on doors, claiming to be you." My blood froze. "Description?" I asked. "Tall male, sheriff's jacket, radio static coming from his pocket." Caller said he heard him saying, "I need to check inside. Something followed you home." My mouth went dry. "Is he still knocking?" "Yes, he's moving floor to floor." I didn't even answer. I floored the cruiser and sped down the highway, lights off. I couldn't risk being seen by something wearing my face. Lakeview Apartments sits on a hill overlooking the south edge of the lake. Best view in town, worst place to live. When I pulled in, half the building was dark. People were peeking through blinds, faces pale and wide-eyed. Something primal was in the air, something ancient, something wrong. I stepped out quietly and froze. I heard knocking, 3 slow knocks, then my own voice saying, "Open up." I know what you saw. A door opened on the second floor. I sprinted for the staircase. But halfway up, I heard another sound. Footsteps, but not one set, two. And the second set was copying the rhythm of mine, almost perfectly. Almost a half beat off, like an echo that wanted to be real. I slowed. The echo slowed. I stopped. The echo took one more step. I turned the corner and came face to face with myself. This time, it didn't smile. It looked tired, wet, dripping lake water onto the carpet. "You're late," it whispered. I raised my gun. "Back away from that door." It didn't move. "You need to stop pretending you're still whole," it said. "Stop pretending there's just one of you." My hand trembled. "Move away from the door." It tilted its head, studying me like always. Then it said something new, something that chilled me more than anything before. "You think I'm here to replace you. A beat. I'm not." I swallowed hard. "Then what do you want?" It stepped closer. So close I could see water running down its cheek, like sweat. "You," it whispered, "are here to replace me." My stomach flipped. My mouth went dry. "No," I muttered. "No, that's not you. Think you looked into the lake," it interrupted. "But maybe that was me. Maybe I'm the one who saw you." I couldn't breathe. "Back away," I said again, but it didn't listen. Instead, it leaned in until we were almost nose to nose. And it whispered, "Which one of us is the original?" I flinched. It didn't. And that's when I realized it wasn't copying my movements. I was copying its. I didn't understand it at first. My brain rejected the idea so violently that for a second everything went blurry, like static rising on a television screen. "I'm the original," I whispered, more to myself than to it. You're the one who got scared," it said softly, "the one who ran, the one who looked away." Originals don't look away. My pulse thudded painfully in my throat. It took every ounce of control I had not to step back. The hallway felt too narrow, too quiet, the air too heavy. "Move," I managed. Now it smiled, a tired, almost sympathetic smile. "You still don't get it," it said. "You keep trying to draw a line between us. But the lake doesn't draw lines. It blends things. It mixes. It makes choices based on who looks first, and who looks longest." My finger tightened on the trigger. "Are you listening to yourself?" I said. "You're talking like you're alive." Its expression didn't change. "I'm talking like I'm you." Then the apartment door beside us creaked open, and an elderly man poked his head out, confused and half asleep. "Deputy," he muttered. "Which one of you knocked?" My blood ran cold. The thing beside me turned sharply toward him. I stepped in front of the old man and shoved him back inside, slamming the door before the apparition could move. "You don't talk to anyone," I hissed. "Not one person, not ever." It stared at me. I stared back, and for the first time, I realized something horrifying. It was breathing. Not perfectly, not rhythmically, but enough. Enough to fog the air in front of its face. Enough to make its chest rise and fall in this jerky, uneven way. Like it was practicing, like it had watched humans breathe and was trying to mimic it. "You're learning," I whispered. Its eyes sharpened, almost proud. "Everything you do, I do better," it murmured. "Because I don't lie to myself about what I am, and what is that?" I asked. It leaned in until our foreheads almost touched. "A replacement," it said. "A version of you without the fear." For one terrifying moment, I couldn't tell if the pounding in my chest was mine or its. Then, without warning, every door on the hallway slammed shut at once. Not loudly, not violently. Just click, 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 like the whole floor was sealing itself inside a coffin. My radio crackled. "Deputy." The sheriff's voice came through, thin and distorted. "Is that you in the building?" I lifted the radio slowly, eyes still locked on the thing in front of me. "Yes," I whispered. The sheriff answered instantly. "No," he said, "it's not." My mouth went dry. "I'm here. So am I," the sheriff said. "And I'm standing outside the building, watching someone who looks exactly like you walk around the third-floor balcony." My heart lurched. I wasn't on the balcony. I wasn't on the third floor. I was on the second floor. Face to face with my radio hissed violently, a screeching static that made me wince and pull it from my ear. Then, through the noise, a new voice cut in. My voice. You picked the wrong one to follow, it said. I looked back at the thing in front of me, and it was no longer staring at me. It was staring past me. Over my shoulder, I turned slowly. And there, at the far end of the hallway, emerging from the stairwell, with wet footprints trailing behind it, was another one. Another me. This one looked sharper, more confident, completely dry, except for its boots. Its movements were smoother, more precise. Its uniform didn't sag or wrinkle, it fit perfectly, like it had been made for it, and not for me. The first imitation stepped backward slightly, almost afraid. The new one spoke. Stop talking to broken things, it told the first. They only slow you down. The one in front of me stiffened, its voice cracking as it said, I'm not broken. I'm learning. You're stuttering, the newer one snapped. He does that when he's scared. Don't copy the worst parts. My chest tightened. They weren't just mimicking us. They were competing, evolving, choosing which version of me they wanted to become. The first one backed into the wall, shaking. Its breathing faltered. Its shoulders hunched unnaturally. The new one stepped past, me brushing my arm. Its touch was cold. Not ice cold, not dead cold, just wrong. Like touching water that remembers being a hand. I lifted my gun instinctively. The new version didn't even flinch. Don't point that at me, it said calmly. You don't know which one of us is real. I'm holding the gun, I snapped. I'm real, it smiled thinly. That's the only proof you have left. Behind us, the first imitation spoke, again soft, trembling. Don't listen to him. He doesn't know the rules. Oh, I know the rules, the new one said, turning toward it. Rule 1, only one version survives. Silence swallowed the hallway, my throat closed. You can't fight each other, I whispered. You're the same thing. The newer one gave me a strange look. We're not the same, it said. He's incomplete. He looked away too soon. And what about you? I asked. Its smile widened, slow and terrible. I didn't look away. The lights in the hallway flickered once, twice. The third flicker stretched too long. And in that darkness, I heard the unmistakable splash of something stepping out of water. Except we were nowhere near the lake. The lights snapped back on. The first imitation was gone. Not dead, not bleeding, just gone. Like it had been pulled back into a place I couldn't see. The newer one exhaled, almost relieved. See, it said. Only one survives. My hands shook. What are you? I whispered. It looked at me with those two sharp eyes. I'm the version of you that didn't blink. My radio crackled again. The sheriff's voice, frantic this time. Do not let it touch you. Do you hear me? The radio went dead. The thing in front of me tilted its head, studying me with unsettling curiosity. Then it stepped closer. Too close. I want to show you something, it murmured. The part the lake kept for me. The part you threw away. Back up, I said weakly. It didn't come to the balcony, it whispered. You need to see what I saw when I became real. I'm not going anywhere with you. Yes, it said. You are. Its hand started to rise toward my face, and that was when every door on the second floor slammed open in unison. The sound was deafening. Apartment lights flooded the hallway. People stepped out, dozens of them sleepy, confused, half-dressed, pointing phones and flashlights at us. The imitation froze, and for the first time since I'd met it, it looked afraid. Not of me, of them, of witnesses, of being seen too clearly. It backed away slowly, its body flickering like a reflection disturbed by ripples. Then it whispered, "You're delaying the inevitable," and it vanished, not faded, vanished, into thin air, leaving only one wet footprint on the carpet. Just one, right beside my own. People talk a lot when they're scared. They whispered in that hallway, like their voices might crack the air if they got too loud. Faces half awake, hair messy, kids peeking out from behind legs. Every single one of them staring at me. Not at the wet footprint. Not at the empty space where it had just been. At me, "You want to tell us what's going on, deputy?" a guy in a tank top asked. "You just yelled at the air and pointed a gun at nothing." I looked at my hand, still holding the gun, still shaking. "You ever realize, all at once, that from the outside you look exactly like the crazy one?" I holstered the weapon slowly, forcing my voice steady. "We got a report of someone impersonating law enforcement, going door to door. I need everyone to stay inside, lock up, and wait for further instructions." A woman near the back narrowed her eyes. "Impersonating you?" I hesitated. "Yeah, me." Her gaze dropped to my boots. "Why are your feet wet?" she asked. I looked down. My boots were dry. But beside my right foot, that single, perfect wet print hadn't faded yet. As if whatever had left it wasn't quite done being here. I stepped aside, blocking it from their view. "Back in your apartments," I repeated, a little sharper. Now, something in my tone did the trick. Doors started closing again, lights going out one by one. The hallway emptied, leaving me alone with that footprint and the buzzing in my skull. I crouched down, shining my light on it. The water didn't soak into the carpet. It just sat there, beading up in the shape of a soul and 5 toes, glistening like oil. "Are you done yet?" I whispered. The print shivered. Just once, then slowly, it stretched out. The toes smeared forward, the heel faded, until all that was left was a thin, wet line pointing toward the stairs, pointing toward the lake. I met the sheriff outside, near the building entrance. He was leaning against his truck, hat in his hands, face pale in the streetlights. "I saw it," he said, without any preamble. "On the balcony, looked right at me." "Which one?" I asked. He grimaced. "That's the problem. I don't know." We stood there in thick silence for a moment, the kind that makes you aware of every little sound, distant TV, humming street lamp, the faint shuffle of feet inside the building. "You ever think about quitting?" I asked. He huffed a humorless laugh. "Every day since the lake started learning our names." I told him what happened inside. The 2 versions, the way one of them called the other broken, the way it brushed my arm when it passed. I didn't tell him about how cold it felt, or how, for half a second afterward, my own movement felt wrong in my body, like I was wearing muscles that weren't made exactly for me. When I finished, he stared at the asphalt for a long time. "This isn't the first time," he said eventually. "I figured," I muttered. "You're not the first deputy it's copied." His voice got quieter. "But you're the first one it's kept playing with this long." "Playing," I repeated. "That's what you think this is?" "What else would you call it?" he said. "It's like a kid with a new toy. It makes a version, tests it, throws it back, makes another. Every time it gets closer." He rubbed his eyes. "Years ago," he added, "we lost a guy named Hargrove. Good deputy, smart, careful. He never broke the rules. Not once. But after a while, people started saying they'd seen him in 2 different places at the same time. Lakeshore gas station. You know how it goes." "Let me guess," I said. "One of them got wet." He shook his head. "That's the thing," he said. "We never figured out which one was which. They acted the same, talked the same, knew all the same things. One night, they both walked into the station. Same uniform, same badge number, same everything." I swallowed. "What did you do? What do you think?" he said. "We tried to keep them both in holding cells till we could figure it out. One of them told me, 'Sheriff, you have to let me out. I'm the real one.' The other said he would say that." He let out a long breath. "In the morning," he continued, "both cells were empty. No door opened, no cameras offline, no broken windows, just gone." "And after that?" I asked. He looked up at me very slowly. "After that," he said, "sometimes I still hear his voice on the radio." A shiver crawled up my spine. "Point is," he finished, "this doesn't end because you want it to. It ends when it decides it's finished, figuring you out. And then what?" I asked. He didn't answer. He didn't have to. I thought the night would calm down after that, like the worst part had passed. The imitation had vanished. The building was quiet. The lake was out of sight, hidden behind apartments and trees. But the thing about Thursday nights in Echo Valley, They go on longer than they're supposed to. I checked the time on my phone, a little past 11. Checked the cruiser dash, same. Checked the ugly plastic wall clock in the building lobby, still ticking toward midnight. I drove a slow loop around town, just trying to feel normal again. I passed the diner, where a couple of late-night regulars nursed coffee. Past the church, dark and closed. Past the school, empty and harmless looking, in the yellow streetlights. By the time I swung back toward the station, I glanced at my phone again. Still a little past 11. Same exact minute. No notifications, no missed calls, no shift. A knot tightened in my gut. I checked the dash clock again. Same. I grabbed the radio. Dispatch, what time you got? Static crackled for a second. Then the operator's shaky voice came through. Deputy, I'm not sure. The wall clocks are stuck. Computer says one thing, phone says another, and the landline display is flashing midnight over and over. I pulled over on the side of the road, staring straight ahead. Sheriff, I said into the radio, you hearing this? Yeah, he answered. His voice sounded older again. Yeah, I am. This some kind of power glitch? I asked. He hesitated, or, I added, are we just not getting out of this Thursday? He didn't answer right away. Finally, how close are you to the lake? I looked out the window, through the gap between the trees, just barely visible in the distance. I could see it, flat, dark, wrong. No moon, no stars, but somehow it still reflected something. Closer than I wanna be, I muttered. Then listen, he said. And listen carefully. I swallowed. Okay, if you hear your own voice, he said, do not follow it. If you hear my voice telling you to come to the lake, you call me on the landline to confirm. And if you see yourself anywhere near that water, I run, I finished. No, he said, surprising me. You don't run this time, I frowned. Then what do? You watch, he said. You stand exactly where you are, and you watch. Because if there are two of you near that lake, I need to know which one walks away. Cold washed over me. You're using me as bait, I said. No, he replied, dead serious. I am using your misery as data. There's a difference. Despite everything, I almost laughed. Yeah, I said. That sounds like you, deputy, he added, voice softening. You asked me earlier, what happens if it touches you? I held the radio tighter. Yeah, I whispered. I think we're about to find out. The call came in maybe 5 minutes later. Not through the radio, through the cruiser's phone. New number. No caller ID, just that blank screen, and my own reflection staring back at me in the glass. I answered without saying hello. I'm on the balcony again, my voice said. You gonna come see what I see this time? I looked toward Lakeview Apartments. Every balcony I could see was dark, no shapes moving new silhouettes. Where are you really? I asked, a low chuckle. You still pretending there's a difference, it said. Northside Overlook Path, the one that points straight at the water. I knew the place, a little hiking trail that ended at a railing high above the lake. People used to go there for sunrise pictures. Before people stopped going near the water voluntarily. You want me to meet you there, I said. I want you to see the angle you've never seen, it replied. You've always been looking down at the lake. You never once asked what it's like to look up at you from underneath. My throat went dry. No thanks, I muttered. I'm good. A pause. You're not, it said simply. You're falling apart. You can't trust your own memories. You don't know which of you has what pieces anymore. So here's the deal. I'm not negotiating with pond scum, I snapped. It ignored that the clocks are stuck. It went on. Thursday won't end. You felt it. We both know it. You want this shift to be over. You want time to move again. The silence between us felt thick enough to grab. Come to the overlook, it said. Just once. Just for a minute. You don't have to touch the water. You don't even have to look at your reflection. You just have to watch. Watch what? It smiled in my ear. Which one of us walks away? The call cut. I sat there for a long time, hands on the wheel, engine idling, radio silent. I could have driven the other way. I could have called the sheriff and begged him to send someone else. I could have turned in my badge, thrown my gun into the glove compartment, and driven straight out of Echo Valley forever. You ever feel the exact moment you make the wrong choice and do it anyway? I turned toward the overlook. The trail entrance was blocked by one of those old wooden gates that never actually stops anyone. I parked, stepped out, and started walking. The deeper I went into the trees, the louder the quiet got. No bugs, no rustling leaves, just the crunch of my own boots and my breathing, which sounded too loud in my ears. The path opened up suddenly at the edge, railings stretching left and right, drop-off descending steeply toward a black smear of lake far below. And there, leaning on the railing like it had all the time in the world, was me. It didn't turn to face me right away. Just kept looking down at the water, arms folded, posture relaxed. In this way, I've never once felt in my own skin. "You're late," it said. "Get tired of that line yet?" I asked. It shrugged. "It fits." I stopped a few feet away, not wanting to stand shoulder to shoulder with it. "How do I know this is really you?" I said. "And not some third version I haven't met yet." It finally turned. There was something in its eyes now I hadn't seen before. Depth, weight. Like there was more behind them than just borrowed mannerisms and stolen phrases. "You don't," it said simply. "That's the point. You stopped being able to tell 3 nights ago. Then why bring me here?" I asked. "If you wanted to replace me, you've had plenty of chances. Bathroom mirror, ranger station, apartment hallway. Why this?" It considered that for a moment. Then it asked, "When you looked at the lake that first night, how long did you look?" I frowned. "I don't know, a few seconds." It nodded. "I never looked away," it said. Something cold unspooled in my gut. "What are you saying?" I whispered. It gestured toward the water. "Look," it said, "just not at your own face this time. Look around." I hesitated. Then, carefully keeping my focus away from where my reflection might be, I stared at the lake. It was wrong in every way it could be wrong. The surface too smooth, like glass. The darkness too thick, like it had depth in miles instead of meters. But now, from this height, with this angle, I noticed something else. The lake wasn't just reflecting the sky. It was reflecting the overlook, the trees, the railing, the hill. And in that reflection, standing where I stood, were 2 small silhouettes, one slightly ahead of the other. I swallowed. "I see us," I muttered. "Look closer," it said. I focused. One of the silhouettes moved, its head tilted down like it was staring straight into the water. The other silhouette didn't move at all, just stood there, frozen, as if watching something happen. That night, the thing beside me said quietly, "When you leaned forward and broke the rule." One of us kept looking, one of us didn't. My chest felt too tight. "You're saying you stayed," I'm saying, it replied. "That when the lake reached up with whatever it uses for hands, only one of us said yes. Only one of us went all the way under." My mouth tasted like rust. "Then what the hell am I?" It turned to me fully now. "You're the part that panicked," it said. "The one that pulled back. The one that staggered off the dock and pretended nothing had changed. You're the flinch, the recoil, the leftover glitch." I shook my head. "No. No, I remember you. Remember running," it said. "That's all you remember clearly. Footsteps, door slam, radio, mirror. All the things you did after." Its gaze hardened. "What's the last thing you remember before you turned away from the lake?" I opened my mouth. Nothing came out. Because the truth hit me like ice. I didn't remember. Not the moment before. Not what I saw when my eyes were locked with the thing in the water. Just blank. Like a tape cut clean. "You're not the original," it said gently. "You're the echo. The lake let you go because it needed something to watch. A control subject. A test case. You're what happens when it only takes most of you." I backed away from it, shaking my head. "No," I muttered. "I bleed. I get hungry. I'm real." It smiled sadly. "So do I," it said. "I just do it down there." It pointed toward the water. The reflection of the overlook flickered. For a heartbeat, the silhouettes swapped. The one who'd been moving froze. The one who'd been still leaned forward, and every clock in my body stopped. Thursdays stuck. It went on. Time won't move until one of us takes the other's place. The lake likes balance. It doesn't like loose threads. So here we are. It stepped closer, not threatening, just closer. You think I want to be you? It asked, out here. With these broken clocks, and wrong-footed memories, and people who can't look you in the eye because they've seen two of you in the same night. It shook its head. No, I don't want to be you, it said. I want you to be me. Down there, I whispered. Down where I belong, it said. Where you belonged, where you tried to go before fear yanked you back. Wind moved across the overlook then, sudden and sharp, bending the trees, setting the lake's surface trembling. For the first time all night, the water actually rippled. And in those ripples, I saw faces, dozens of them. All half familiar, all half wrong. Some I recognized from old case files, missing persons reports, faded photos pinned to a board in the back of the station. All of them looking up, waiting. You ever feel like you're living on borrowed time? It asked. That's not a metaphor for you. That's literal. You're using time that doesn't belong to you. That's why it stopped. I could hear my pulse in my ears. What happens if I walk away? I asked. Its eyes went flat. Then we stay like this, it said. Forever. You glitching through Thursdays that never end. Me stuck in a place that already claimed me. The town caught in the middle. It smiled faintly, and the lake gets bored, it added. You don't want the lake to get bored. Why? I croaked. Because when it gets bored, it said, it stops playing with one person at a time. The wind died. The water went still again. The reflection of the overlook sharpened. This time, there was only one silhouette, and I didn't know which one it was. The thing beside me, this version of me that might have been more real than I was, held out its hand. Not like the first one had. Not like a lure. More like an offer. You came here, it said. You walked the path. You stood where I'm standing. You're already making the choice. All that's left is which direction you go. My body felt split down the middle. Half of me wanted to turn and run until my lungs gave out. The other half wanted to step forward, take its hand, and finally stop feeling like I was flickering slightly out of sync with the world. You said only one version survives. I whispered. It nodded. Then what happens to the other one? It looked toward the lake with something almost like fondness. Echoes fade, it said. That's what they do. Silence. Just my breathing. Just the faint lapping of water far below. Just the weight of an impossible decision. It leaned in closer, voice dropping to a murmur only I could hear. And if you're so sure you're the real one, it asked softly, why are you the one who feels see-through? My eyes burned. I didn't realize I was crying until I tasted salt. Somewhere in the distance, my radio crackled weakly. Deputy, the sheriff's voice called. If you can hear me, tell me which one you are, the one by the water or the one on the overlook. I looked at the reflection, one silhouette. I looked at the hand in front of me, salad, waiting. You ever stand on the edge of something and know that no matter what you do, you're already falling? I asked you, whoever's listening to this, because that's where I am, right there, on that railing. On that Thursday that refuses to end. Hand outstretched toward something that might be me, might not be, asking myself. If I take his hand, and everything snaps into place-time moves. Clocks tick, Thursday ends. Does that mean the original finally comes home? Or does that mean the echo does what echoes always do, fade back into the source? So I'm gonna ask you, since I can't trust myself, if a deputy from Echo Valley knocked on your door after midnight, wearing my face and using my voice, and told you he needed to check inside because something followed you home, would you let him in? And if you did, how sure are you that the one standing in your hallway is still the one telling you this story?